Hi friends, Tracy here from the Sewing Channel. Welcome back, and if you're new here, welcome. Today I am showing you block 8 and 9 in our free motion quilt along series. In the top right hand corner of this video, you will find a link to a playlist that will have every single video with all of the designs in this free motion quilt along in one spot. Don't forget to share pictures of your free motion quilt along blocks to my email, which is thesewingchannel33@gmail.com, so I can share them in an upcoming video. Enough talking already. Let's get busy free motion quilting. Up first today is what I'm calling Pebble Path, and it's just diagonally from corner to corner a bunch of pebbles with some leaves coming in off to the side. Now today I did use my larger, clear, round free motion quilting foot. This was one of the first times that I had used it, and honestly I don't know that I really liked it. One problem I seemed to have was that there was a huge glare coming off of that. I even had my sewing machine light off, which I typically do when I record because it's too much light shadowing for you all when you're watching it when I'm recording. So I don't know. I tried with the light, without the light, and it seemed not to help either way. So I don't know. Do any of you have this problem with your clear free motion foot? Now with the metal foot that I have, I didn't seem to have problems when I was making the leaves. But for this one, I couldn't get the leaves fat enough. It seemed like, I don't know if it was, I don't know, to be honest with you. It was the glare. I really couldn't see what I was sewing. I mean, it was crazy. But as you can see here, I started in one corner and I came out and I just made a bunch of dense leaves coming out in that direction. I put this foot on hoping that it would help me space out the area a little better between lines because I thought I was quilting too close together with that small metal foot, being that it was so small, round in diameter. So that's why I decided to put this on, but it seemed more to be a hindrance than anything. I just really could not see through that foot. So here what I'm doing is tracing around that blue line that we made, going all the way to the other side so that I could start my leaves coming out in the opposite corner. And since last time I really had trouble making the leaves pointy at the end, I really concentrated on that part of the leaf because I didn't want a rounded leaf and I didn't want to unpick one. So I really did take my time and just concentrated on pointing those leaves. I did order a new free motion quilting foot and it just hasn't arrived yet, but I'm going to try it in one of my next upcoming free motion videos. It's actually a ruler foot, but I don't have any rulers to use with it, so I'm just hoping that it helps me with my spacing, and I'm hoping that I can still see what I'm sewing, so that's yet to be determined. I don't know, what kind of free motion quilting foot are you all using? Now, I told you in the beginning that I don't really like the spring action quilting foot. I think that's better when you have a much thicker seam to go over is what I'm guessing. But I'm really enjoying my smaller metal foot. So let me know down in the comments what you all are using. Here's a shot of both sides of the leaf areas when I was all done, right before I started the pebbling. And I'm just going to randomly, somewhere wherever I stopped at one of those leaves, I'm just starting to do my pebbles. And pebbles have been a tough thing for me, but I really do think I'm mastering them. I feel more confident when I'm doing them, so that tells me that, you know, I'm on the right track. I mean, I still mess up, as you can see, but it's not as bad, and I'm able to maneuver into that circular area much better than before. So I'm really happy with the way my pebbles have come along. And again, this round, you know, free motion, clear quilting foot, I think it handicapped me. I couldn't see the pebbles even. It was really weird because you would think this is a clear sewing foot. I should be able to see what's happening, but it was just bizarre. I don't know. Do any of you have the same issue with your big, clear, free motion foot? Let me know. But I struggled with this block. Now, if I would have tried this free motion foot, when I first started doing pebbles, I would have said, forget it. I'm not even going to attempt it because it would be horrible. You wouldn't be able to see what you were doing. So I'm glad I started with the small metal foot first. I would also like to know, what is your hardest thing in free motion quilting to conquer? Now, a lot of you, I noticed, are saying down in the comments about stitch length and different things like that. Well, your stitches aren't going to be the same if your hand and feet aren't moving at the same rate. So especially if you don't have a stitch regulator, most sewing machines don't. Now I know the long arm machines typically do have a stitch regulator, but for the most part in free motion quilting on a regular sewing machine, you're not going to have any of that. So I don't really worry about stitch length. I think, at the beginning, things are kind of really out of whack, but as you get going, you get better and better at it, and your stitch length becomes pretty consistent. So I don't think that's anything to really worry about. But as far as like design wise, is your brain, is it getting this? Are you understanding it? Are things getting easier for you? I would really love to know. If the video seems like it's jumping from area to area, it's because I'm cutting out a lot of stuff because I don't think you all want to just watch me do pebbles for like an hour. So I'm cutting out quite a bit. Remember, don't forget to send me some pictures of your free motion quilting blocks with these designs. Be sure to send it to thesewingchannel33@gmail.com. I would love to share them in one of my next upcoming free motion quilting videos. Pebbles are probably the most boring thing for anybody to watch in free motion quilting, right? I don't know. I'm watching myself do it and I don't know, it looks pretty boring, but I can see though how I do make the mistakes I make as I'm watching it. So it's kind of good that I'm watching it now that I'm thinking about it. I probably need to. It's like when someone in football, like football teams, watch themselves make mistakes on the field. They take video of it and then they do playbacks and rewatch it in the locker room. That's what I feel like this is right now. I don't know. Yay, it's done. So here I'm just going to spritz it and get some of those blue lines off of there and just press around the edges there. And I really love how this block looks and how it turned out. Love it. Up next, we're going to do some fun stripes. Now with this, I'm going to make some markings ahead of time on our block. I've already done the 3/4 of an inch on the outside. And here I'm just going to go corner to corner. And I'm going to make these any size width that I want, that you want, you just make them. There's no rhyme or reason to the widths that I did do or how many stripes I actually ended up doing. As I was marking them out, I just did what felt right at the moment. I ended up with about 8 different spaces that I put a design in. And this one right here is just some random, not really straight lines, but they go at like a slant. And I was actually having a little bit of trouble with this. I don't know if I ended up taking this foot off. I know I did after this and I didn't use it again. So, but you can see they're just like almost like zebra stripes back and forth. In the next stripe area, I ended up doing some swirls, and I really didn't pay attention to making them all the same. They were going in opposite directions and some started at different angles and different things. So I didn't really pay attention to keeping them identical at all. I see also that I'm switching angles a lot, and that's because again I could not see through that foot, and so I did not feel comfortable going backward a lot with this. Now you don't have to use the same exact designs that I use in the stripes. Say that you make an extra stripe. Put anything you want in it, whatever. It's your block, it's your quilt, you put whatever you want in there. Some of you might have one or two less stripes than I do because of the random striping that we did. So you do whatever you want. But in this next one, I just did some serpentine lines starting at one end, ending at the other, and I put them pretty close together. And I really do like the contrast with the other stripes within this block. This is the only one that has kind of straightish lines, so I really like how that turned out. In the next stripe, we're going to do some ribbon candies, and these were so much fun. I liked how we had the top and the bottom area kind of like a guideline for us so that we didn't go up over that. That was really nice. And in the end, these looked pretty good. I'm really surprised that I did some good ribbon candy on that one. So, and on the end here, I just echoed inside, making that triangular shape there. As you can see, that one was really easy. Now this next stripe, we couldn't leave our pebbles out, could we? So what's different about these pebbles is I had to do them straight in a line, and I hadn't done them before like that. I did them random so that they were scattered everywhere. So it was kind of neat just to do them in one straight line, and they turned out pretty good. In the next one here, I did some meandering. It was a pretty big space, so I ended up just doing just a meander all the way through it, and that one turned out really nice too. Now I don't show you on the video here, but I do outline every single stripe on both sides of the stripe area. So I did do that. It just helped define the stripe, I think, a little bit better. So now in this last stripe area, I did that waffle mash that we've done before. So it's just straight lines across, and then you're going to come down the center and just, waffle them out. I also do outline the entire block on that blue line all the way around. And in the end, I really do think that it turned out really nice. It was fun, it was quick, and it was easy to do. And we like quick and easy, right? There will be a link on this screen right here for the next free motion quilt along video. If it's not up here, then it's not out yet. But if it is, go ahead, click on it. Until next time on the sewing channel, take care.